Go to Proverbs 1. I got so much stuff I want to bring out, man. It's just ridiculous. It's probably like we're going into Proverbs because we're working on bringing brothers to a high level, a priestly, scholarly, kingly, godly level, and be prepared for the kingdom to come. And we're going to operate as such. We're going to deal with order. We're going to deal with order on the streets. We're going to deal with order on the classes and the lines. You come in contact with me in person, it's going to be like coming in contact with a representative of Christ. So let me get Proverbs 1, brother, and start at verse 1.
Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 1.
God.
The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. Verse 2. To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding.
Go ahead.
To receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity.
Okay, Khan.
4.
Stop. You can stop there. So we're dealing with, this is what you call the 7 pillars of wisdom right here. He said to deal with what? Now, wisdom is building a house, and it's set up as pillars. We had a foundation. We're dealing with the spirit of wisdom. Dealing with the spirit of wisdom means the application of the knowledge, applying the knowledge. So things that you reading, applying it. So we built in the house right now. You got what? First one, you got wisdom. Second one, you got instruction. Third one, you got understanding. Fourth one, you got wisdom again. Then you got justice, judgment, and equity. That's the 7 pillars of wisdom. So these are things that we definitely want to make sure we operating in at a high level. We want to operate in applying the knowledge. That's the wisdom. You want to operate in the instruction, the law, the commandments, the words that we read in this Bible. Applying that. We want to deal with what? Understanding what we read and perceiving it. We want to deal with what else? Instruction again. Wisdom. Justice. So we want to be just. When the Most High, when you see us, you want to see a person that represents justice, the justice of the Most High, a just man. That's what you want to see. Dealing with judgment, making righteous decisions, making righteous calls, dealing with equity, properly balancing. You know, we want to deal with balance. We don't want to go too far to the left or too far to the right. We don't be too hard. We don't be too soft. We want to be right there in the middle. That's what we want to deal with. The pillars of wisdom. Let me get verse 7. Give me verse 7.
Verse 7.
Come
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge.
The fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge. Or Salakia. It says the fear of the Most High is the beginning of the knowledge. So you got to respect and obey. You got to be dealing with what the Most High is bringing out. Go ahead.
But fools despise wisdom and instruction.
So let's not be fools. Let's not operate at a level of a fool by seeing what the Most High said to do, how he said we're supposed to operate, how he said we're supposed to move, and say, nah, I think I'm going to do something different. That makes you a fool. Let's not operate like that. Let's not hate the Most High's word. If he say something, let's just leave it right there and apply it and do it. And when we judge, we're dealing with justice and judgment based on what the Most High say, not based on the European Edomite understanding that we learned in this society, this sick, wicked, evil society. We don't want to deal with the culture of this place. We don't want to deal with what we learn here. We want to deal with what we learn in this book. That's what we want to deal with. See that? All right, brother. Let me get Proverbs 19 and 20. Proverbs 19 and 20.
Proverbs chapter 19, verse 20.
Con.
Hear,
Say what?
hear counsel.
See, this is wisdom. Hold on. This is wisdom. We have to deal with the order. Now we say we got to keep the law to begin to start dealing with wisdom. If we're not keeping the law, if we're not dealing with the law, then we're not going to even come to the front door. We can't even begin to deal with wisdom. We're not dealing with wisdom. So, okay, now we're dealing with the law. We got the law down. What's the laws of wisdom? This. He said, hear counsel. The scriptures say, in the multitudes of the counsel, there's safety. When you see a wise man, get you betimes unto him. Submit to that man. Learn from that man. Why? Because he's watching over your soul. He's going to help you become that next wise man. It's going to help look over the younger guy to come after him. They come after him, so on and so forth. So you got to open up your spirit to be able to hear counsel. If you're keeping the laws, now this is the next step. If you're doing this, now you're ready to start becoming a wise man, a noble man, operating at a high level. You got to be able to hear counsel. Read.
Hear counsel and receive instruction.
So you have to be able to receive instruction. Don't take it personal. If a brother or an elder or an officer that's over you tell you, brother, this is what needs to be done, do it like this or do that. Not that he's commanding you or bossing you around or nothing. He's showing you this is the way it's done. So we gotta make sure we deal with humility. We have to. And this is something I had to do, man. I went through it too. I heard a brother say something. I'm like, I don't know about that, man. We can do it my way. And then I learned. I'm like, well, the brother was right. He was in the truth 20 years before I came into it. He knew how I went. So let me listen to how he do it. Because he done been through what I'm about to go through. So he can guide me through it. So you got to be able to take instruction. Read.
That thou mayest be wise in thy latter end.
That's it, man. That's all. So we do have to let a man guide us. It is a man over us. And that man is getting it from the man that he got it from. And it goes all the way back until it comes from the Most High. Because it's all, even the things we reading in, the scriptures we reading in these verses we reading in this Bible was written down by a man. So let's not be prideful. Let's not be puffed up to feel like we can't receive something because it comes from a man. I don't care if the man's older than you or younger than you. It don't matter. If he's been dealing with this knowledge for a while, then you got to submit to it. If a plumber knows how to be a plumber, knows how to fix pipes, even though I'm older than him, I can't be like, yo, I'm older than you, brother. You got to submit to what I'm saying. Nah. I'm at to take low. I don't know. Let me learn what you're saying, brother. Let me evaluate it. Let me apply it. Let me own it. And then I can go teach it. He says, hear counsel, receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end. That's the whole point, right? Ain't that what we want? We don't want to be fools and stupid. So I always submitted, since I've been in the truth, to elders. And I still submit to elders. I still get counsel. I still don't move on my own word. I still counsel with brothers over me. I still counsel with brothers like Mathathawa in House of David, Barak, Karash. You know, I still counsel with brothers that's been in this truth for forever, that's been there and done it, seen it. Like, how would you do this, brother? Well, how was this done? How did y'all do it back then? What did y'all do? How did that work out? I mean, you can ask Karash. I'm not making it up. I asked him, like, how did that go? How did that work? I'm not saying, yo, I'm gonna just do it like this. No, man. You got to be able to humble out and receive instruction. You got to, man. If you don't, you're dealing with folly. If you're dealing with folly, you're just a stupid man doing stupid things. And that's not us. We ain't going to be in a kingdom like that. That's not how we're going to be operating. So, hear counsel, receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end. Let me get Proverbs 13 and 20, brother. Proverbs 13 and 20. I'm going to make sure that you brothers is operating on a high spiritual level with wisdom. I'm going to make sure of it. I'm going to be on y'all with it. I'm gonna keep harboring on it. I'm gonna keep bringing it out. We're gonna stay with it. We're gonna deal with being in order. We're gonna deal with being wise. So when you come across one of you brothers, they're gonna automatically know, oh, I'm dealing with another whole different caliber of a brother here, man. I can't just come any kind of way. This is a whole different caliber of a brother. Go ahead and bring it out, brother, when you got it. Proverbs 13 and 20.
Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20.
Uh-huh.
He that walketh with wise men shall be wise.
There you go. Not he that just, say, wake up one day and say, I don't need nobody. You got a lot of individualites out there that do that, man. They're like, I don't need no camp. I don't need no group. I don't need no brothers. I don't need no congregation. I don't need nothing. I just need a computer, a keyboard, a comment board, and to read a couple of verses and try to challenge brothers that are operating under a pedigree, that do have a congregation, that do have a body, that do listen and take instruction. You're going to get crushed every time, man. You're going to get smashed. You ain't never going to be on the level. Ever. I was dealing for years before I came into a congregation. And believe me, man, I was never going to ever receive wisdom and operate on a high level until I got with the congregation. I had to do it. There was no other way around it. There was no other way around it. I had to do it. And then I noticed how the knowledge I was dealing with went from 0 to 100. I was like, wow. Like, this is super duper stuff right here, man. So this is what we got to be dealing with, man. Us, our children, our wives, we got to operate on a high level. At some point, we're going to have to start being gods again, or we're not going to be in the kingdom. We got to start being the manifestations of the sons of the Most High. We're going to have to start doing it, man. The women are going to have to get in order. They'll have to submit to their husbands. Their husbands have to submit to the Most High. They're going to have to operate like a woman of the Most High. They're going to have to stop depending on Esau and thinking, I'm going to just go ahead and leave my man, or I can go from man to man. It's going to have to, it's not going to be able to continue like that. The Most High don't like that. You're going to have to be an orderly woman dealing with wisdom. You have to be an orderly man dealing with wisdom. At some point, the man's going to have to grow up, humble out, and be a spiritual son of the Most High. At some point, you're going to have to do it. At some point, you're going to have to stop being in your flesh, calling other men the B word, arguing, fighting, having strife, dealing with the lust of the flesh. We just read what the fruits of the spirits was. Love, joy, peace, happiness, long suffering, patience, meekness. At some point, we're going to have to get back to that. Because the Most High is going to reject us. And the time is too short for us to be playing games. This is not a game. This is not entertainment. This is not a show. This is not the football game or a play. This is real life right here, man. And if you apply this, you can save your life. But go ahead.
He that walketh with wise men shall be wise.
Uh-huh.
A companion of fools shall be destroyed.
You're going to be destroyed, man. So you got to disacquaint yourself with foolishness and fools. If you got fools, only time you around them is to teach them. If you ain't teaching them, get away from them. And get with the wise. That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with getting with the wise. That's what he just said, right? Or am I losing my mind? He said, he that walketh with wise men shall be wise. But a companion of fools shall be destroyed. It's only a matter of time, man. So we have to learn order. We have to learn how to conduct ourselves like Hebrew Israelite men. Let me get Sirach 6:32, brother. Ecclesiasticus 6. Ecclesiasticus 6:32. Oh, you talking about this last one I just read? It's Proverbs 13 and 20. But next time you got a question, brother, we got to make sure that we say Salaklia, and we got to wait for the speaker to yield the floor. You wasn't on the line to hear that, but that's just the rule that we just established like before you got on the line. So it's Salaklia, and then you wait to be addressed, and then you ask your question. But the last one was Proverbs 13 and 20, and the next one is Sirach 6 32. Con, Sirach 6:32.
Sirach, chapter 6, verse 32.
Go ahead.
My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught.
So if you want,
And
hold on. If you want, if this is what you want, the Most High will give it to you. If you really want it, the Most High will drop it on you, but you're gonna have to do what I just explained. You got to humble out. You got to be patient. You got to be meek. You got to be long suffering. That's the fruits. You got to apply the fruits of the Spirit, and He will give it to you. If not, if you're gonna be a fool, or if you're gonna be a scoffer or a scorner, you ain't got nothing coming. Most High is gonna leave you stuck right there where you at, bugged out of your mind. But go ahead.
If thou wilt, thou shalt be taught. And if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent.
You should be prudent. Can somebody look up the word prudent for me real quick? Come on, look up the word prudent. I want to know what that means. When you got to just say Salakia. Go ahead, brother.
Prudent. Acting or showing care and thought for the future.
There you go. That's it, hitting right on the head. Showing care, having care for what happens, not being reckless and out of control. You see that? Let that sink into your spirits, man. Let that sink in your spirits. If you will, it says, my son, if you will, thou shalt be taught, and thou wilt, Salakia. And if thou wilt apply your mind, you will be prudent, which means you will be a wise man. You will have care of what happens in the future. You'll be considering what can happen. If I make this choice, dealing with the 7 pillars of wisdom, based on instruction that came from the Most High, what's going to be the outcome? So we got to put Yahushua in our lives, for real. I mean, we really got to apply him to our decision making, and then make our choice based on that. Then we will be prudent. But go ahead. 33.
33. If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding.
Go ahead.
And if thou bow thine ear, thou shalt be wise.
That's why he always say what? He that has an ear, let him hear this. He that is willing to humble and listen instead of talk. Listen. See, listening is an art. If you listen, you'll learn. But if you're talking, you ain't learning nothing. So be quick to listen. Be quick to hear, Akim. Be slow to speak. That's when you see a man, when you come across a man like that, that's quick to listen and slow to speak, you're dealing with a wise man. Beware. You're dealing with a wise man. And we're going to read another scripture say, if you don't have the answer, put your hand over your mouth. But if you have the answer, if you have the understanding, give an answer. If not, put your hand over your mouth. You become wise. You will be wise. To say, I don't know, let me get back to you, is wisdom. You're a wise man. You can't do nothing but concede to that. I got to say he's ignorant to that fact, but I can't say he's stupid or he's dealing with folly or he's a dummy. I got to say he's smart. I just don't know. Let me look into it. Let me look it up. Let me do my research. Let me ask my elders. And believe me, I got plenty of elders for us, Akim. I got a whole army of them. These brothers heavy into this last 30 years in the truth, doing this. So we moving in order. We ain't moving with chaos. We represent the Most High. We represent Christ. When they see us, they should see a full representation of Christ, how he would move and how he would conduct himself. But go ahead. So you quick to hear. That's how you're going to be wise. Go ahead.
35. Be willing to hear every godly discourse. And let
Salakli. 34, brother. 34.
34. Stand in the multitude of the elders and cleave unto him that is wise.
So that's how we should be striving to do. Then we just read that in the last scripture, in the last verse, where it talked about receive instruction. We want to receive that instruction. We want to be amongst the elders to receive that instruction. And when we're amongst the elders, we don't want to be talking, we want to be listening. Till this day, when I'm amongst the elders, and I've been doing this for a while, I'm not speaking. When I was sitting up there when we was in Atlanta and I'm chilling with Karash and Barack, those are two elders that have been in the truth 30 plus years. I ain't had not one word to say. I'm listening. I'm all ears. Like, what can I learn from these brothers? So that's how you brothers got to be, and that's how you be wise. Don't have a multitude of words. Go ahead.
35. Be willing to hear every godly discourse. And
Come on. Go ahead.
let not the parables of understanding escape thee.
There you go. You can ask questions. Be willing. Be more in a learning mindset when you're amongst elders. We got to do it. We got to do it. Or like what I would do, or even if I have what do you call that? An opinion on a suggestion on what I think might help. Salakia, what do you think about this? Not saying you should do this, but what do you think about this? And then let them examine it and tell you why it's good or why it's not good, because they got the experience to be able to do that. But go ahead.
36. And if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee bedtimes unto him.
Go ahead.
And let thy foot wear the steps of his door.
Now you see what the Most High is saying here? He said, first of all, be willing to hear every godly discourse. Let not the parables of understanding escape thee. The way I let not the parables of understanding escape me is make sure I take thorough notes. So I'm hoping somebody's on this line taking notes, and they can post it in the line when they get done. They can post it. But he says, let not the parables of understanding escape you. So write it down and then go back and look at it. That's how it don't escape you. And then be willing to, Salaklia, verse 36, if you see a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him, and let thy foot wear the steps of his door. So that means you in and out. That's what that means. That means you got a man of understanding, you at his house, you in and out, you done wore a path in his steps, you in and out so much. And this is the mindset that I was in when I first came into the congregation. I mean, I was literally with the brother nights sometimes. Sometimes we'd be up all night. I remember we was doing YouTube videos back in like 2006, 2007, something like that, where we was up all night. Just I'm taking notes and reading for the brother and learning, and we just going at it. My mindset was like, yo, I got to get this while I can, because it might not always be available. I know what it's like to not have a brother around that could teach me. And then the Most High said there's going to be a famine of teaching of the word in the land. Not a famine of bread, food, and water, but a famine of hearing the word. So I'm like, yo, let me get this word while I can. But go ahead.
37. Let thy mind be upon the ordinances of the Lord, and meditate continually in his commandments.
So that's what we should be doing, man. like all day, every day. He told us like when you rise up, when you lay down, when you go out, when you come in, be meditating on the word of the Most High, speaking of it, talking about it. Well, the law say this, and just standing by it. The law say I got to wear my fringes. I'm done with that. That's what it is. I ain't got nothing else to say about it. My garment should have fringes on them. The Most High said we got to deal with the Sabbath day. We got to keep the Sabbath. We got to keep the feast days. We got to keep the new moons. I'm done with it. I ain't got nothing else to say about it. He said meditate continually on his commandments. And what he going to do? Read.
He shall establish thine heart
Go ahead.
and give thee wisdom at thy own desire.
As much as you want, he going to give it to you. He's going to give you the spirit. When he said establish your heart, is that what he said? Establish, let thy mind be fixed on the ordinances and establish thy heart. That means you're going to have the spirit, man. You're going to have a strong spirit on you. He says he's going to give you wisdom as your own desire. That's just is what it is. Let me get Proverbs 9 and 6 real quick. Proverbs 9 and 6.
Proverbs chapter 9, verse 6.
Uh-huh.
Forsake the foolish and live.
Forsake the foolish and not die, but live. So anything dealing with foolishness, anybody that's foolish, anything dealing with folly, don't have nothing to do with that. And you're going to be all right. Read.
And go in the way of understanding.
And go in the way of understanding. That's what the Most High said. Forsake the foolish, forsake the fools, and get on to a man dealing with understanding. Learn the understanding, learn the precepts, learn the law, the instruction, the humility, and apply it. And you're going to be wise. And the Most High is going to exalt you. 2 Corinthians 6:14, brother. 2 Corinthians 6:14.
Second Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14.
Uh-huh.
And said, O Lord.
No, Salaklia. That's not it, brother. 2 Corinthians.
Oh, that's Chronicles. I'm sorry.
Con. Because it's all precepts that line right up. It's like I'm giving you a whole. Basically, we're going through a breakdown of separating from the wicked, the evil, the foolish, the carnal, and latch on to the spiritual, the wise, and the humble. So if you see somebody dealing with, are we in the truth we Hebrew Israelites, but they dealing with arrogance and pride, detach yourself from that. We the only ones with the truth, detach yourself with that. You got to deal with me or nobody else, detach yourself from that. Any kind of pride whatsoever, you want to be far from that. Any kind of wickedness, be far from that. But go ahead and bring that out.
2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14.
Uh-huh.
But ye not unequally yoked
He
together.
said, be ye. Salakli is be ye. Go ahead.
Oh, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship have righteousness and unrighteousness?
Uh-huh.
And what communion have light with darkness?
Now I'm not saying you ain't allowed to be around them. Don't go around them. Cut them off or whatever. I'm just saying when you're around them, make sure you got your armor on and know you're dealing with spirits, and make sure you're ready for that, man. Don't get caught up in what they doing. Don't get sucked into the folly. Don't get caught up in that, man. You talking about the scriptures and they want to start arguing. Hey, leave it right there. Don't argue. Take low. All right, brother, you got it. You ain't got nothing to prove to nobody, man. You do not have to prove nothing to nobody. You know what the wisdom is. You know what the scriptures say. You know the understanding. You know the breakdown. Ain't nothing that man can tell you, man, because you know it. You read it. So he can holler, scream, yell all day. A lot of people think because they yell and holler all day that they won an argument or a debate. But honestly, you're dealing with folly at that point. We should be able to have an orderly discourse where you bring out what your points are, I address them, and I bring out my points. You address them back and forth, decently and in order. But when it comes to, I was just watching my brother, the brother Joel the other day, debating some wild lunatic. And this dude was talking something crazy. Then Joel was just bringing out the scriptures, and he just came out of nowhere. Well, you're a liar. I'm not continuing with this. He got mad, and he got irrational and emotional. We don't want to deal like that. We want to stay professional. We want to represent Christ. You call a man a liar. How you gonna call a man a liar, man? You got to be able to prove charges. Can't just say anything you want to say. Okay, break down how he lied. What he lie about? Break it down. Can't just call a man a liar. That's a heavy charge to put on somebody. Most High say he destroys liars. See something be destroyed? No. Let me get Proverbs 14:7. Proverbs 14:7. Now I'm going through this real slow, you know. I don't want to rush through nothing. I want to make sure, you know, this stuff sinks in, you know, because this is wisdom we're going into. I want to make sure these is principles that you brothers apply. Anybody around us got to be applying this. And I'm in the mindset of, I'm already there. Whatever the scriptures say, I'm there. He said you dealing with folly, get away from me. I'm going to get away from you if you're dealing with folly. So me personally, I don't want no brothers around me that's dealing with folly. If you ain't willing to operate and get in order, like I'm willing to operate and get in order, like I'm willing to submit myself to brothers that's over me, like I'm willing to give a soft answer. I'm willing to not argue and fight and strife and operate in the off spirit. That's how you got to be. Read that real quick, brother.
Proverbs chapter 14, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
Go from the presence of a foolish man when thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge.
You see that? Straight up. You know, he told you. This ain't me, this ain't I not making this up, brothers. He says, go from the presence of a foolish man when you perceive it's not in him the lips of knowledge. When you see he's dealing with folly, man, get the hell away from him fast. I'm not saying cut people off, be on some caught Jim Jones, you can't talk to your family, all this other stuff. I'm just giving you practical knowledge to apply principles that we should be living by. Principles that I'm going to go ahead and press that we implement within us, man. We're not going to be dealing with folly. I want every brother around me to be operating like me, man. You got to be not dealing with that, man. If that man is going off, you got to separate from that man. You can't deal with him because it's going to get you caught up in some stuff. Let's look at a principle that we should be operating in, Akim. Let's look at one principle. Let's get the 15th chapter in the first verse, Salakia. 15:1, Proverbs 15:1. Read that.
Proverbs chapter 15, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
A soft answer turneth away wrath.
No, brother. You should be able to cuss him out, beat him up. He don't agree with you. He's a liar. He's a demon. The Most High going to destroy him and all this other folly. Read that again.
Proverbs chapter 15, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
A soft answer turneth away wrath.
So when your wife is cussing you out, she coming down on you, you got pressure, you want to smack her, you want to go off, you say, hold on. Let me check my spirit and let me go to the word of the Most High. This ain't in the law. This is a law of wisdom. A soft answer turneth away wrath. So you getting cussed out, you getting dogged out, instead of being prideful and you matching that, you say, no, I'm gonna go ahead and take low and say something soft, something sweet, something to take away that fire that's coming at me. What the scripture say? A gift turneth away wrath. I used this one time. I use this Akim. I use this wisdom. I applied this stuff in my life, man. One time, my mom was mad at me about something. She was angry, man. She was real mad. I said, damn, let me stop over here and grab her some White Castles. Just pop up with them. I know she like them. She was mad, man, but she was landing them hamburgers, man, and forgot all about it. Like, okay, now what we dealing with? Because I knew I didn't want to get cussed out. So this is wisdom that works. So instead of coming strong and fighting that fire with fire, apply this. Even when we come into contact with the police, if they come in all rowdy and raw and everything, let them know, I'm not a hostile man, I'm with you. Whatever you want me to do, I'm gonna do it. We know you got rights, brother. We know this and we know that. But at the end of the day, we just trying to not get shot. We're trying not to go to jail. We're trying not to get charges. We're trying not to inconvenience our family, our mothers, our wives, our children. Come on now, let's stop doing that. We're trying not to do that. So all we got to do is say, okay, yes, sir. Let me do this for you, sir, or whatever, or with your wife or your boss or whoever, man. If we can get to the point where we can be on a spiritual level where we can actually take low, oh man, we're going to see some results. And remember, man, this ain't my doctrine. I'm not making this stuff up. Shoot, sometimes I'll be in my flesh where I want to smack somebody too, but then I got to remember what their scripture said. A soft answer turneth away wrath. So what do I got to do? I got to give them a soft answer. Read the next phrase in the verse, 15, the second part.
But grievous words stir up anger.
There you go. Go ahead. Oh, Slaki, you stop there. He says, but grievous words stirreth up anger. So let's not use grievous words. Let's go ahead and give them the soft words. And we ought to know that this is how it works. We ought to know that, man. We just got to make sure we're applying this. Give a soft answer. Don't give grievous words, man. Because it's going to do what? It's going to stir up anger, strife, and next thing you know, you're going to be dealing with the works of the flesh and not the fruits of the spirit. You're not going to be spiritual anymore, but you're going to be carnal. I mean, somebody accused me of being carnal once. What the hell? In the middle of a class doing a YouTube, we was on Las Vegas Boulevard in Sahara. Brother said, he got glasses on, he carnal. You want to show me that in the law that I ain't allowed to wear glasses? Get the hell out of here, man. You dealing with envy and jealousy. You dealing with this. You dealing with carnal now. So we can't be so quick to just throw out charges on brothers. Remember what one of the seven pillars of wisdom was justice and judgment. We got to use judgment. If we just throwing out, accusations on brothers, then we're not using judgment. Because the law tells us protocol on how you do that. You can't just accuse a brother of doing something or being something or saying something or doing something. No, you got to be able to bring facts. Verse 2. Read verse 2.
Verse 2. Chapter 15, verse 2.
Uh-huh.
The tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright.
Uh-huh.
But the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness.
And we ain't trying to deal with foolishness. We're trying to deal with knowledge. We're trying to deal with the right answer. We don't want to just accuse people. We don't want to cut people off. We don't want to be so quick to be rash to just jump to stuff. We'll slow down, be patient. Like what he say, long suffering. In Galatians 5:22, he said, long suffering, peace. Examine the matter. As a matter of fact, let me get Proverbs 18 real quick. Get that real quick. To not just jumping. See, a wise man is not just going to jump up at as the wind blow. He ain't going to do that. This is what the wise man going to do. Read that. 18:13.
Chapter 18.
Come, Proverbs 18:13. This is how a wise man operates. Read that.
Proverbs chapter 13, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
Whoso despiseth the word.
No, 18:13. Salakia. Proverbs 18:13. But that's a good one right there too. Whoever despises these words, you're gonna be destroyed. You're gonna be in a bad situation. So we don't despise these words. We want to apply them. But go ahead.
Chapter 18, verse 13.
Come.
He that answereth a matter before he heareth it, it is folly and shame unto him.
See, that's a shameful thing, man. So we don't want to be rash with nothing. We don't want to speak on something before we thoroughly know what it is. We want to examine that thing. We don't want to just jump up because it's going to do what? It's going to make us look stupid. And the Most High said it straight up. Ecclesiastes 11 and 8. Get that. But the Most High said it straight up. He said, he that answereth a matter before he hear it, it is folly, which means he's dealing with is stupid. If you answer before you know what's really going on, you stupid. That's why we should know both sides. We should examine, get the facts. Provable facts. I don't like to just take people's word for it. I like to get both sides of the story. I like to get to the root of the problem. Something I can prove, not just jumping on it. He says it is follies, which means it's stupid and it's shameful to you. It's a shame onto you. Shame. We don't want to deal with that, man. Once I ain't dealing with a bunch of shameful people, man. Just a bunch of shame. No, he's dealing with what? He says he's not the author of confusion, but he's dealing with peace. Read that, Ecclesiastes 11 and 8.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 11, verse 8.
This is the precept.
Answer not before thou hast heard the call.
So a lot of people like to just jump on in and give their opinion before they know the whole picture. Then you look stupid in front of everybody. Then you look up and you look stupid in front of everybody. That's why we got to slow down, pump our brakes, slow down, and look at it for what's really going on. What's really the problem? He says, answer not before you heard the calls. And there's a lot of brothers that do a lot of that, and make sure y'all ain't one of them. But go ahead.
Neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk. So
be quick to listen. Be quick to hear. Don't be rude. Like we said, we don't want to operate with that within our congregation when we're dealing with people being rude, cutting people off. And when y'all talking, brother, and if somebody start to cut in while you talking, just kindly say Salakia. Get in order. When you want to say something, say Salakia, and I'll address you. I'll give you the floor. So make sure that you brothers are quick to check that. Don't let that slide. Because if y'all let it slide, I'm going to come at y'all like, what y'all doing, man? We got to deal with order. We ain't dealing with a bunch of chaos. We ain't dealing with a bunch of daggone savages. No, we ain't doing that, man. We dealing with wise men. So make sure y'all do that, man. Make sure y'all check that at the door. Like, yo, hold on. Wait a minute. I don't care if you got to say wait a minute 40 times. Wait a minute. Wait. Do not let them get what they sent out. Don't let them do it. Check it. Because we ain't dealing with folly. He says, neither interrupt men in the midst of their speech and of their talk. So let them talk, man. There's nothing wrong with letting people talk. Let them talk. Because the more they talk, and this is what I need you, Akim, to understand. The more they talk, the more information you gathering. So you want to let them get everything that they want to say out. Say whatever you got to say. I don't know if y'all remember a couple weeks ago what happened with me. Brothers wanted to cut me off and they didn't want to let me say what I was going to say. with me, I'm the type of person that where I really don't like to talk. I like to let the other person talk. It's like the police. You notice when you get pulled over by the police, they don't build their case off of coming at you with a lot of talk. They want you to talk. And they want you to prosecute yourself and hang yourself. So that's the same spirit y'all got to be in. Where you think they learned it from? Now let him talk. We're going to get him on his words. So that's how I operate. You talk. The more you talk, the more I see where you get sliced. Because a lot of people don't know what they're talking about. A lot of people really just don't know what they're talking about. A lot of people just talking. With me, I'm making sure, like, sometimes, like if if I'm around a wise man, like wise elders, my talk is very minimal. Because the more I talk, and if I get in the areas, because even dealing with elders, getting in the areas of deep stuff that they dealing with that you ain't really got to yet, and you trying to comment on that, it makes you look stupid, man. So let them talk. You know, somebody coming at you, let them talk. You know, because the more you can hear, the more you can perceive, the more you can you can better judge on how to move. He says so. This is wisdom right here. This is wisdom that y'all got to apply, man. This is the wisdom that y'all got to apply in your day-to-day lives. Answer not before you heard the complete cause. Get every piece of detail you can get. I was telling one of the brothers that was going through a counsel before, he was getting irritated because people kept throwing stuff at him and he couldn't respond. I'm like, brother, let him throw. You be jotting down, taking notes and examining and breaking down everything that's being said. And then when you talk, when it's time for you to respond, it's lights out. You want to get all the information you can to come back. That's what you want to do. You want to get all the information you can, and then you want to give your response. When somebody says Salakia, somebody says Salakia. I thought I heard a Salakia. Okay, get Proverbs 18, brother. Proverbs 18. This is just another principle of wisdom. Proverbs 18, because these are principles that we want to incorporate. We just got through reading what Proverbs 18, 13, your Proverbs 18 and 19.
Proverbs chapter 18, verse 19.
Uh-huh.
A brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city.
Hold on. He said,
And
I got you. Hold on. He said, a brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city. So the whole point is to not have a whole bunch of brothers that's offended, that you're not offending a whole lot of people, that you operate in applying these principles. So even when they are irate or whatever, make sure that you stay in order so that you don't do something to offend the brother, because you know the whole point of it all is to have the love, brotherhood, and unity amongst us and not be offending everybody. We don't want to be dealing with issues amongst us. But then when we do deal with issue amongst us, we're going to have a protocol on how we resolve that. We're going to have protocols based on what the scriptures say. So if a brother do have a problem, you brothers have to make an oath before the Most High that you're going to keep his word like you say you do. Every Shabbat, Kala Sharad, Debar Yahweh Na'ashah Nashemai. Everything you said, what we doing here. And when you agree that you're going to implement what the Most High said, you're going to go ahead and not hold a grudge against the brother. Talk to a brother one-on-one. Don't go up and down as a talebearer talking about a brother behind his back, Leviticus 19. You don't slander a brother. You don't lie on a brother and bear false witness. If a brother do something to offend you, you go talk to him, you and him one-on-one. And if you know that a brother got a problem with you or is offended by you, Don't run, don't hide, don't talk, don't do none of that. But you go and see that brother. So both of y'all should be going to see one another. You got an ought against me, brother? Yeah? Okay, well, how can I fix it? Or what kind of compromise can we come to? That's what the Most High says. That's what Yahushua said. So I don't want to be seeing beefs amongst y'all, man. And if somebody got a problem with me or something I did, come and tell me, man. Just come and we could talk. Come and tell me how you feel offended or what I done against you, and see how we can work it out. Because I'm willing to repent. I'm not the goal is not to be turning off a bunch of brothers, but it's to be having brotherly love and brotherhood. Psalms 133. The Most High loves to see brothers dwelling together in unity. So if there's an issue, we got to deal with it, man. So don't get a spirit on y'all, man. And we got to pray for one another. Got to keep each other in prayer and make sure that you are praying to the Most High and staying in the Spirit. Make sure we fasting, man. We got to be fasting. You know, we got to be keeping these holy days. We got to be keeping the law, man. The new moon just passed. You got to make sure y'all come together. The Sabbath's coming up. We got to come together for the Sabbath. That's the law. If we ain't doing that, we sinning. He said, on the Sabbath day, you must have a holy convocation. Holy convocation means a planned gathering, a calling out, a vocal calling out to end. So we got to do that. We can't not do that. Most High said, forsake not the assembling yourselves together. You know, so Friday nights, we want to look at doing the Shabbat class, and we can rotate. We can meet brothers where they're at, so brothers ain't such a burden on brothers having to drive all the time. And then we can share that burden. And I'm willing to come down to where brothers is at. You brothers can come to my crib. My doors is open. And we built like that. That's how we did in Ohio. We go from house to house. God. So a brother offended is harder to win than a strong city. So let's not offend one another. Go ahead.
And their contentions are like the bars of a castle.
Yeah, see, the contention is going to be tough to deal with them, man. So don't offend them. We don't want to deal with them. Get Proverbs 14 and 12. Proverbs 14 and 12. This is good stuff right here. Proverbs 14 and 12. So we don't want to offend brothers, man, because it's going to be hard to win them back over. So we're going to be actively working on loving our brother as ourselves. We're going to be actively be community minded. We're going to actively be humble. We're going to actively be applying these principles on one another. You know, dealing with order. I'm not trying to come down or, be mean or, be a butthole or nothing. I'm just like, this is what the scriptures say. This is how we got to operate. We got to come to a high level in every aspect of y'all's lives. Spiritually, financially, marriage, relationships, children, job, finance, everything, good credit, assets. We want our women to be Proverbs 31 women. Yeah, we're gonna put a lot on these women, man. They ain't just gonna be sitting back chilling. Nah, we're gonna be active. Everybody. If you're building with us, everybody's gonna be active. There ain't gonna be no slothful, slacking, nothing. None of that. We're gonna be putting in work. But go ahead, brother.
Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death.
Of death. Proverbs 14 and 12 said there's a way that seems right to a man, but the end thereof is the ways of death. So we don't want to deal with seems right to us. We don't want to deal with that. We want to deal with what seems right to the Most High, because the foolishness of the Most High is wiser than men. The foolish things of the Most High. So we want to deal with the divine wisdom. We deal with high level stuff.